So picture this. You wake up, you don't know what day it is or how long this has been going on. Is it a week or two? Your muscles ache, you feel feverish. You decide this must be the worst flu you've ever gotten. You still need help to the bathroom because you're too dizzy to get there on your own. And while in the bathroom, you look in the mirror and you say, "Come on, we're better than this. We've had our rest. It's time to move on. Let's go." And as you're talking to yourself in the mirror, your speech is slurred, your face is numb, and your migraine has returned. You call the doctors and tell them what your symptoms are, and they say, "Call 911. This was me in July of 2014. Sorry. I'd been dealing with autoimmune issues all my life. Since I was 11 years old, I'd always pulled through using diet and exercise and yoga and meditation along with what my doctors suggested. And with that, I maintained my health enough to have an active life. I went to art school, built a successful business, maintained a loving marriage, homeschooled my child, volunteered in my community. I taught art classes and made art in my studio. And like all artists and working moms, I was a proud, successful juggler. I managed jobs, family, and even chronic illnesses. At the emergency room, they diagnosed me with shingles and sent me on my way. Not all of my symptoms fell in line with my diagnosis, but I didn't think much about it. It took me months to recover, and when I did, I tried to go back to my old juggling self. I just couldn't get my energy back. I wasn't sleeping, the migraines kept returning, my joints were hurting. I kept getting heart palpitations and shortness of breath with very little exertion. I didn't know what was happening to me. The docs sent me around to all the specialists, and over a year of being poked and prodded, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, otherwise known as myalgic encephalomyelitis, or ME. The only treatment they had to offer me was physical therapy and antidepressants. Gradually, I had to stop working, not being able to maintain enough energy to be available to my students or be able to stand and work in my studio. Our financial problems mounted, and I continued to become more and more ill. It's been a year since my diagnosis, and here's what I've learned. This illness is progressive, and there is nothing out there to halt the progression. If you're lucky, sometimes you can slow it down. The same treatments don't work for everyone. Doctors are not educated on this disease unless they've sought it out for specific research or study of this illness. Treatment is overwhelmingly expensive and may or may not work. Treatment is really hard to find. There are people who fly across the country or relocate to their doctors to get treatment. There is a huge waiting list for every doctor who claims to treat ME/CFS. It's hard to qualify for disability, or even though you're not able to contribute to your household income. There are roadblocks around every corner. I want a solution. I had to use crowdfunding and a fundraising concert to raise money to see a fatigue specialist. She makes no guarantees about what I can expect, and we will consider me getting 50% better a huge victory. I have to take this one day at a time. We have no idea if it will work, but hope is all we have to hang on to at the moment. My biggest hope comes from the work of ME Action and this Millions Missing campaign, but we still need help so people like me and millions around the globe can get our lives back. I've tried self-determination to get out of this illness, but my only choice is to surrender and ask you to help change public perception and to hear my story.